my previous podcasts, I've talked about love and controlling personalities. Now I want to delve into something that literally plagues almost everybody, and that is professional-based fear. One of the very first feelings that a human being feels, like immediately coming out of the womb, is fear. Don't know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on, so I cry. Fear. Professional fear is generated by society, by the people in power, by the business owners of the world, where they think that they have something so great to offer that we are somehow at their mercy to accept. And if we don't accept, then they will simply find someone that will. This thinking process is changing right now, today, in front of us. As a 30-year business owner, I've been on both sides of this coin. I've been both an employee and now an employer for a long, long time. And I can tell you that the American society is now beginning to break apart the idea of the great lie. We are conditioned to think that we are less than, and so we should simply accept whatever it is that the employer is willing to offer us as far as employment goes. Now, it is our responsibility as individuals to determine what our value is or is not. The problem is that we as human beings get sucked into this fear-based inferiority complex where we are at the begging mercy of those that choose to employ people that have the jobs. This has been built into our being from a very young age. We watched our brothers and sisters go through it, our parents go through it, so on and so on. And along with this inaccurate lie is the idea that the harder we work, the quicker we get ahead. That may be true in certain circumstances, but if we're working harder for the same amount of money, who is benefiting? The other thing that comes to mind when we're talking about the beginning stages of a business relationship, employer-employee, or even the acquisition of the job at all, is that we are willing to accept without negotiation whatever it is that the employer is offering. This is what happens when we involve our emotional system in a business environment. Look, folks, the reality is that business people that are in a position to employ others, they are where they are because they can separate business from emotion. So let's just, for instance, say that you're looking at getting a job for X amount of money. And that amount of money is equal to, or maybe even a little bit less than, what you were getting paid from the previous employer. Why would you do that? Why would you accept less for the same experience than what you were getting paid for the previous job? You know, I hear about this regularly where people are willing to accept the same money as before, except that they have to pay for their own health benefits, or, you know, the copay is greater, or whatever. Getting a job is a negotiation. Business owners are aware of this. They don't want you to know that they're aware of this, but they are aware of this. So the idea behind overcoming this societal inferiority complex is simple. Pay attention to your value and want less. Don't want a job so badly that you overlook your value. It is very important that we as employees, potential employees, remove our emotion from a business decision. We can have all the emotion we want. We can, give 100% to the job, of course, as we should. This is just responsible. But we need to focus on the positive indifference with this new relationship or potential new relationship. In other words, be optimistic about the possibility of getting the job, but don't involve so much emotion. In my own life, and I've proved this more times than I can count, literally, the more I want something, anything, the more, claw scratches I've got on this thing that I want, the longer it takes to get, and the less chance there is of it actually happening, right? So I developed a thinking process where I was, optimistic. Yeah, that would be a great job to get, or yeah, I would love to do that work for this, big client, whatever it is. But I would do the effort part, I would do the contract, I would do this, I would do that, I would do the other thing. And then I just let it go because everything that I can do is done. So getting all bent out of shape about something that may or may not ever happen is really counterproductive because it prevents other opportunities from presenting themselves, right? And I've literally worked with people where they have said, okay, positive indifference. Okay, I think I can do this. And lo and behold, it went from no interviews to like 30 interviews in a week. And I told them that this was going to happen, right? And so we need to remove the fear and the fear of loss from a business situation. Getting a job is a business decision because your employer or potential employer is looking at it like that. They're not looking at it like Mr. Jones or Mrs. Smith or whoever it is. They're a wonderful human being. They're looking at it from a standpoint of what does this person bring to the table that I can use to make money from, that I can use and purchase to make my company more profitable, more efficient, more effective, and then in the final stage, make my life, the business owner, easier so I don't have to work so hard. So remember, folks, positive indifference when applying for a job, being willing to negotiate without fear, because this is a business decision. It is a business negotiation, no emotion. You'll be a lot better off. You'll sleep better. And don't forget that once your part is done, let it go. Give it out to the universe or whatever it is that you would do with it. Don't think about it. Don't obsess about it, certainly. But positive indifference is the key. This is Keith Kale.